Hey everyone, in this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat penny you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these Lincoln wheat pennies so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, the Lincoln wheat penny has always held a special place in the hearts of collectors. When it was first introduced in 1909, it immediately became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first United States coin to feature the portrait of a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, rather than the traditional allegorical figures that had been used for decades. Just 2 years later, in 1911, the Lincoln cent continued its journey into history. Today, we're going to take a closer look at one specific version, the 1911 penny struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, and explore what makes it valuable in today's coin collecting market. The 1911 penny is part of the early years of the wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 until 1958. This means that every example of this coin you find is well over a century. Old coins of this age automatically attract attention, but age alone does not determine value. Rarity, condition, and collector demand all work together to decide how much a penny like this is worth. In 1911, 3 different mints produced the Lincoln cent: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we are talking about today is from Philadelphia, which is identified by the absence of a mint mark below the date. While Denver and San Francisco had much lower mintages that year, Philadelphia struck over 100 million pennies. This makes the Philadelphia issue the most common of the 3. However, even though it is more available, it can still hold impressive value, especially in higher grades. When a collector evaluates a coin, the first factor they look at is condition. Coins are graded on a scale ranging from heavily circulated to uncirculated mint state. Terms like good, fine, very fine, and extremely fine describe how much wear is visible on the coin. A 1911 penny in good condition, which means it has seen a lot of use, but the date and main details are still readable, usually sells today for around 40 cents to $2. Many examples fall in this range because most of these coins were used in everyday transactions for decades. Still, even $1 or $2 for a coin that cost 1 cent more than 100 years ago is a nice return. As the condition improves, so does the value. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition, with more detail visible in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse, can bring anywhere from $5 to $20. When a coin survives in uncirculated condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear and may still have original mint luster, the price jumps significantly. Mint state examples of the 1911 no mint mark penny can range from about $75 up to several hundred depending on the grade. Collectors especially prize coins that still display their original red copper color because over time most pennies darken to a brown tone. The rarer the color and the higher the grade, the higher the value climbs. While most circulated 1911 Philadelphia pennies are worth just a couple of dollars, truly exceptional pieces can bring extraordinary sums. For example, some graded at the highest mint state levels with vibrant red surfaces have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. One especially stunning example, graded MS67 red, once sold for over $20,000. These are, of course, the rarest of the rare, but they prove just how valuable a so-called common coin can become when it is preserved in outstanding condition. For collectors or anyone who finds an old 1911 penny, it is important to handle it carefully. Always hold a coin by its edges to avoid adding new marks. If you suspect you have a high-grade coin, getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC is the best way to know its true market value. Certified coins also tend to sell for much more because buyers have confidence in the grade. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny has long been one of the most recognized coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this design quickly became a favorite among the public and collectors alike, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. The coin was struck for nearly 50 years before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Over those decades, billions of these coins were minted, and many are still found today in collections, drawers, and even loose change. Among them is the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. And in this video, we are focusing on the Denver issue, easily identified by the small D mint mark beneath the date. In 1953, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of pennies, over 700 million in total. With such a large mintage, the 1953D penny is not a rare coin by itself. Unlike some early wheat pennies, which are scarce and command high prices, this coin is generally considered common. However, its age, its connection to the historic wheat penny series, and its condition all influence how much it is worth in today's market. When collectors talk about condition, they are referring to how much wear and tear the coin has experienced. A coin that has circulated heavily, showing scratches, dirt, and fading details, falls into the lower grades of good or about good. A coin that has only light wear and still shows clear design elements would be classified as fine or very fine. Uncirculated coins that show no signs of wear at all, only minor marks from the minting process, are the ones that bring the highest prices. The coin we are discussing here is in dirty condition with scratches. That means it has been handled many times over the years and no longer has the sharp details or attractive appearance that collectors prefer. For a coin like this, the market value is modest. Most 1953D wheat pennies in worn or damaged condition sell for just a few cents above face value, usually somewhere between 5 cents and 25 cents. While this is not a fortune, it is still more than the original purchasing power of 1 cent when the coin was minted. It also shows how collectors value even common coins as part of American numismatic history. If the coin were in slightly better condition, perhaps showing less dirt and fewer scratches, the value could climb higher. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition might sell for 50 cents to $1. That still isn't a dramatic increase, but it demonstrates the way condition matters. Once we get into the category of uncirculated coins, the price rises further. A typical mint state 1953D penny can sell for $2 to $5. Coins that still display their bright red copper color and have been graded at higher mint state levels, such as MS65 or above, can bring $10 to $20, sometimes more. These premium examples are what most collectors look for when they want to add a 1953D penny to their collection. It is worth remembering that even though the Denver issue is common, there are still exceptional examples that stand out. Coins graded at the very highest levels, showing blazing red luster and virtually no marks, can fetch prices in the hundreds. Such coins are extremely rare because copper darkens over time and because most pennies were used heavily in circulation. For the average collector, however, the typical circulated 1953D penny is worth only a small premium. The scratches and dirt on your coin place it firmly in the lower value category. Collectors tend to avoid damaged coins unless they are rare dates. And since this is a common issue, the demand for low-grade examples is limited. Still, the coin remains an authentic piece of history. It is more than 70 years old, a survivor. From a time when pennies were made of 95% copper and held more tangible value than they do today. Holding one of these coins is like holding a snapshot of mid-20th century America, when they jingled in pockets, paid for candy, newspapers, and bus rides. For anyone who finds a 1953D penny, the best approach is to evaluate its condition. Honestly, if it is dirty and scratched, the value is only a few cents. If it has sharp details and original luster, it may be worth a few dollars. For coins that look especially fresh, professional grading from a service like PCGS or NGC can help establish an accurate market price and make the coin easier to sell. Collectors always pay more for coins that have been authenticated and graded, since it removes doubt about condition and authenticity. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most popular coins ever produced in the United States, and every date and mint mark tells its own unique story. Today, we are focusing on the 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just below the date. This coin is now almost 90 years old, and although it is not among the rarest issues of the series, still attracts strong collector interest. Understanding its history, mintage, condition, and value in today's market can help reveal why even a common wheat penny continues to be a treasure worth keeping. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured a bold portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks framing the denomination on the reverse. This wheat reverse would remain on the coin until 1958, making it one of the longest-running and most recognizable coin designs in America. By 1936, the coin had already been circulating for over 25 years, and it had firmly established itself as a favorite among both the public and collectors. The 1936 penny is particularly notable because it was struck in 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, the San Francisco coins carried an S, and the Denver coins, like the one we are talking about today, carry a D. In that year, the Denver Mint struck more than 40 million pennies. While this may seem like a lot, it was still a significantly smaller number compared to Philadelphia, which produced hundreds of millions. As a result, the Denver coins are scarcer than their Philadelphia counterparts, though not rare in the broader sense. When collectors assess the value of a 1936 D penny, the first factor they consider is condition. A coin in good condition means it's circulated heavily but still has a readable date, mint mark, and basic design details. Your coin also has some scratches, which further affects its grade and overall appearance. In today's market, a 1936 D wheat penny in good condition with wear and marks generally sells for about 50 cents to $1. While that may not sound like much, it is still many times its original face value of 1 cent, and it represents the lasting historical significance these coins carry. As the condition improves, so does the value. A coin in fine or very fine condition with more detail visible in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse may sell for $1 to $2. Extremely fine examples may fetch closer to $3 or $4. Once we reach the level of uncirculated coins, the price climbs dramatically. A 1936 D penny in mint state condition, with no signs of wear and possibly still showing its original red copper luster, can sell for $10 to $20. High-end mint state coins graded MS65 or above can reach prices of $100 or more. Truly exceptional red examples at the very top of the grading scale can bring several $100s at auction. The scratches and wear on your coin place it at the lower end of this spectrum. Collectors generally prefer coins that are problem-free with smooth, original surfaces. Even so, every coin tells a story. A circulated penny like this passed through countless hands during the Great Depression era, buying goods, paying for services, and serving as a reminder of Lincoln's enduring legacy. Its worn surfaces are proof of its journey through American history, and that is part of what makes it appealing when considering whether a 1936 D penny might be worth more. The most important step is to evaluate its color and luster. Copper coins naturally change color over time, usually turning from bright red to brown. Collectors pay premiums for coins that retain their original red surfaces. However, For coins in good condition with scratches, the color rarely adds much extra value. In such cases, the coin remains a modest collectible, valued more for its history than for its rarity. For collectors who own a 1936 penny in higher grades, sending the coin to a professional grading service such as PCGs or NGC is often worthwhile. A certified grade can dramatically increase the value, especially for uncirculated examples. For circulated pieces like yours, grading costs usually exceed the market value. So most collectors simply keep them as part of a larger set or as historical keepsakes. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny remains one of the most beloved and widely collected coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it quickly became a symbol of national pride. The portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, graced the front of the coin, while the reverse displayed two wheat stalks, framing the denomination 1 cent. This simple but iconic design would endure for nearly 50 years until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. Among the later wheat pennies, the 1948 issue is one that collectors still seek out today. In this video, we are focusing on the 1948 penny struck in Philadelphia, which is identified by the absence of any mint mark below the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of wheat pennies in 1948. In fact, over 317 million were struck that year, making this coin a very common issue within the series. Unlike some early wheat cents that had much smaller mintages and are now considered scarce or even rare, the 1948 penny is generally easy to find. Its large production numbers mean that even today, collectors can purchase examples without much difficulty. However, just because it is common does not mean it lacks interest or value. The age of the coin, its place in the classic wheat cent series, and above all, its condition all contribute to how much a 1948 penny is worth on today's market. When collectors talk about condition, they are referring to the amount of wear the coin has endured during its time in circulation. A coin in fine condition, like the one we are discussing here, has moderate wear. Lincoln's hair details are worn but still visible. His cheek and jaw show flattening, and the lettering and date remain clear. On the reverse, the wheat stalks have lost some of their finer lines, but the major outlines remain. The presence of scratches adds to the wear and lowers overall eye appeal, but the coin is still collectible because it is intact, identifiable, and nearly 80 years old. So what is a 1948 Philadelphia wheat penny worth in today's market when it is in fine condition with some scratches? Typically, such a coin is valued between 5 cents and 25 cents. This is a modest amount, but it reflects the fact that the coin is common and has noticeable wear. For most collectors, a circulated example like this is a starter piece, something to fill a slot in a collection until a higher grade example can be found. If the coin were in better shape, the value would improve. In extremely fine condition, where Lincoln's hair and the wheat lines show much more definition, the value can reach 50 cents or more. Uncirculated examples, those with no signs of wear and possibly still showing original mint luster, are far more desirable. A 1948 penny in mint state condition can sell for $2 to $5, while coins with brilliant red color and high mint state grades can bring $15 to $30. At the very highest levels, certified gems with vibrant red copper surfaces can exceed $100. These prices demonstrate how much condition matters in the world of coin collecting. Even though your coin falls into the lower end of this value range, it still holds significance. It represents a piece of history from the post-World War II era, when the United States was experiencing economic growth and cultural change. Pennies like this one were used daily in shops, diners, and markets across the country. They bought newspapers, candy, and small necessities. serving as a reminder of everyday American life in the late 1940s. Holding a coin like this is like holding a tiny time capsule from that era. Collectors who want to determine the exact value of their 1948 penny should consider a few key factors. First is condition, which we have already discussed. Second is color. Copper coins naturally toned from bright red to brown over time, and collectors pay premiums for those that retain their original red surfaces. Third is whether the coin is certified. Professional grading by companies like PCGs or NGC can authenticate the coin and provide a standardized grade. While this is usually worthwhile for uncirculated coins, it is not cost-effective for circulated examples like yours, since grading fees exceed the coin's market value. In summary, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a common coin from the Philadelphia Mint, with over 317 million struck. In fine condition with scratches, it is worth between 5 cents and 25 cents on today's market. Better preserved examples rise in value, and mint state red coins can bring significant premiums. While your coin may not be worth a fortune, it is still a fascinating piece of American history, part of the long-running wheat penny series that remains one of the most popular coin collections in the world. Its value lies not just in dollars, but in the story it tells about an earlier time in the United States. Next up, the Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history, and every year of its production tells a story. Today, we are looking at the 1958 wheat penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. This coin is especially significant because it was the very last year of the wheat penny design. After nearly 50 years in circulation, the classic reverse, featuring 2 wheat stalks, would be retired in 1959 and replaced with the Lincoln Memorial reverse. That alone gives the 1958 penny an important place in American numismatic history, even if it is one of the more common issues of the series. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 252 million of these coins in 1958. With such a large mintage, the 1958 wheat penny without a mint mark is not considered rare by collectors. However, because it represents the final chapter of the wheat penny era, it still holds a special place in collections. Many collectors who build full wheat penny sets want a high-quality 1958's example to mark the end of the series. This steady demand keeps the coin relevant on today's market, even though so many were minted. Condition is always the most important factor when determining a coin's value. Your 1958 penny is in extra fine condition, which means it's circulated for a while but still retains sharp details. Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jaw remain well defined, and the lettering and date are crisp. The wheat stalks on the reverse still show most of their lines, though the highest points show light wear. The scratches mentioned do lower the eye appeal somewhat, but overall, extra fine is considered a solid collectible grade. So what is a 1958 Philadelphia wheat penny worth in extra fine condition with some scratches on today's market? The value usually ranges from about 10 cents to 50 cents. That may not sound like a lot, but it is still many times its original face value, and it reflects how common this issue is compared to scarcer early dates. Collectors will pay slightly more for clean, problem-free examples, but even with scratches, an extra fine 1958 penny is a nice piece for any collection. If we look at higher grades, the value grows. An uncirculated 1958 wheat penny, showing no signs of wear, can sell for $1 to $3 in typical mint state condition. Coins that retain their original red copper color, graded at MS65 or above, often sell for $10 to $20. At the very highest levels, blazing red gems graded MS67 or higher can command $100 or more. These coins are the exception, carefully preserved since they left the mint. For the average collector, though, circulated examples like yours are much more common. It's worth noting that while the 1958 Philadelphia penny is common, the 1958 D penny from the Denver Mint has a fascinating history because of the famous 1958 double die variety. Those coins are extremely rare and worth thousands of dollars. While your coin is from Philadelphia and not part of that rare error group, collectors often compare the two when studying the final year of the wheat penny series. The scratches on your coin do affect its market value. Collectors prefer coins with smooth surfaces and original color. Scratches, stains, or other marks lower the price, sometimes cutting it in half compared to a cleaner coin in the same grade. However, since this is a common date, the effect is not dramatic. A scratched, extra-fine 1958 penny may bring closer to 10 or 15 cents rather than 50, but it still holds collectible interest because of its historical importance. When looking at the broader picture, the 1958 penny tells the story of America. In the late 1950s, these coins circulated during the post-war boom. It's a time of rapid economic growth, cultural change, and optimism. People used them every day for bus fares, candy, newspapers, and countless small purchases. The wheat penny design, which had been in pocket since 1909, is about to give way to a new look that reflected modern America. In this sense, the 1958 penny bridges the gap between two eras, making it a nostalgic keepsake for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. In today's market, the 1958 Philadelphia wheat penny without a mint mark is valued at around 10 to 50 cents in extra fine condition depending on eye appeal. Higher-grade uncirculated coins can sell for a few dollars, while top-end certified red gems can bring hundreds. Even with scratches, your coin remains a genuine piece of history, part of the long-running wheat penny series and a reminder of a design that served the nation for nearly half a century.